Moore getting the goal on a nice feed by Ryland Mosley. And Huskies playing pretty good in that first period. Shots 13-8 in favor of Michigan Tech. Had some great scoring chances that they did not bury. And hopefully they can put a couple of more in period number 2. Our first intermission is upon us here from the desert. And it's brought to you by the Hidden Pines Wedding Bar in Calumet. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. But Patrick Tapper-Mikic is with us, a new hire for Michigan Tech on staff. And, of course, newly inducted into the Michigan Tech Sports Hall of Fame. Tapper, it is lovely to see you here in the desert.
Yeah, it's great to be here, especially leaving that snow behind in Green Bay.
Yeah. Well, you don't have as much as we do back home, but actually we don't have a whole lot back home, as you know.
It's been minor for us. We had a nice little Christmas storm that made it a good reason just to hang out with the family, so it's good timing if you're going to have a storm.
Well, this is one of the real cool things about your new job, I would imagine, coming out to a place like this and getting a chance to talk to some of the alumni. And again, congratulations on the new position. Give us the official title of your job right now.
Yeah, it's an assistant director of major gifts, and so basically I'm just trying to keep our relationships with our alumni, and our alumni are everywhere. And my main focuses will be our athletic alums, but I'll also do some work for in the computer of science program. So it's a lot of learning for me. I'm taking over for Darcy Way, who did a phenomenal job and engaged our alumni so well. And today I got to be part of 2 events here, and it just you see the jerseys in the crowd here. The Let's Go Huskies right off the bat tonight. It's just we have an amazing alumni following, and it's fun to be part of it. I've always enjoyed the stories and the history of it all, so it's fun.
Well, we were talking to Joe before the game here tonight about why does Michigan Tech get invited to these type of trips? It's because of how well we travel. The hosts of these tournaments know that Michigan Tech fans are going to show up.
Yeah, and you see it everywhere. I mean, I remember in my playing days and my coaching career at Michigan Tech, like we go out to Denver and they'd have a huge party before the game, and you go to Alaska and they're doing the same exact thing. So wherever the Husky hockey travels to, and that goes for sport, basketball and football as well. They play a game downstate. The alumni want to be out. They want to gather and be around each other and share great stories.
So what is it about this program that excites you right now, Tapper? I mean, there's a lot of inexperience on this team, yet they have found ways to win games.
Yeah, I'm learning from Joe about it all. Just where he thinks the program's at, and like he talked about how much goal scoring went away from last year, and they're scoring as a team this year. He was going to lean on some certain guys in all those crucial times last year, and he openly spoke this afternoon about it's affected the power play. They just don't have those guys that are ultra confident right now with that puck, where a Bliss, a Hallinan, and those guys were going to take care of those key situations a year ago. But you look at Kyle Kukinen's he's going to be such a great Husky. He plays with that so much passion, and he brings that energy every night, and I believe he's one of those guys that makes other guys around him better. So you'll see him get into this second year now, or the second half of this first year, and I would expect big things from him, which just helps all those other forwards take their next step as well.
Well, you would obviously know this. I mean, go back to your freshman year at Michigan Tech. Did you find that too, where you were still trying to figure some things out in that first half, but a major improvement in the second half?
Well, I think the big thing was learning how to play on the road. And you would play at home, and Coach Mancini could decide who he wanted me to be on the ice against. And you'd go on the road, and all of a sudden you had to play against a Greg Johnson or a Derek Plant. And I had to learn how to play better defensive hockey. And once you kind of have that confidence that you can play against those type of players, it frees you up to know you still have all of your offensive skills to go along with it.
So talk about playing in a tournament like this. You played in a lot of Great Lakes Invitationals and other regular season tournaments. Is there a different mindset to preparation? We were talking with Ryland Mosley before the game about it. He goes, I don't know about preparation, but it's got to be a little bit different knowing that you're not only trying to win a game, but you're trying to advance to a championship game.
Well, and you're playing for major pairwise points.
Right.
And that is such a crucial thing in college hockey. Now, you're going to have your conference opponents where you're going to pick up big wins, and you're going to probably give away a game you shouldn't have. But you go and win a game against the Sun Devils here tonight, and that's a win against a lot of their other opponents that you might not even see during the year. So a tournament, playing for a trophy is always a real cool thing. But and I'm sure Joe talked about it all week. Hey, this is one of those non-conference games we need to go out and get.
So, can you tell us a little bit about your configuration as far as where you are going to be? Because I know Darcy was in Wisconsin, and you have a great network of people that you get to deal with.
Yeah, a big part of mine is just getting out on the road and spending time with our alumni. And it's not so much through the Alumni Association, but it's more of our donors and people that have given in the past and building those relationships with them. And so, like I said, I'm following in Darcy's footsteps, and he's been very helpful. But I'll live in Green Bay. I'll spend 1 week on campus every month to spend time with the coaches and talk about, what they envision for their program. And, there's a lot of projects that are talked about, and we need to do our part to make sure we find that funding so that, women's basketball and women's volleyball are not sharing a locker room anymore. We need to supply everything they need to be able to build another locker room. Men's basketball was just able to do their locker room, and so, there's football locker rooms and everything that needs to continue to develop to be such a marquee school, and so that's my goal. That's what drives me right now, is to get out and find ways to provide everything that our student athletes need.
The big disappointing thing, Tapper, is that what Darcy was able to do, what you will never be able to do, is put on the goalie pads for an alumni game at his age and make some great saves like he did at the alumni reunion.
I have to believe he was sore for a few days after that, but it was awesome. It was a great exhibition by the dumper that day.
Well, Patrick, it is awesome having you back. We loved you when you were as a player. We loved you as a coach here, and to have you back after all these years at Michigan Tech, I just think it's really cool, and I would imagine the family is excited about it too.
Yeah, I mean, my family have been Husky people forever, and and it's my kids now. I mean, my kids have really grown where they track everything Michigan Tech sports. They know all the coaches, and so it's great for Amy and I to have this opportunity to spend way more time back at home and really be part of what the Huskies have been to me my entire life, is being part of that program.
7th all-time scorer for Michigan Tech, and of course recently inducted into the Michigan Tech Sports Hall of Fame, Patrick Tapper Mickish, now back on staff at Michigan Tech, and we are so excited about it. Happy to have you with us. Tapper, how did the alumni event go?
Great. The first event was all alumni and had over 100 people, and then we moved on and had one specifically for athletics, and we had a great showing there as well. I got some great stories from some of the old Husky guys that now are living out in this area, and Gord Salt was like a hero of mine as a kid. He was such a good player, and so I got to spend some time with him today. It was a lot of fun.
All right, Pat. Well, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, we will. Go Huskies.
All right, Patrick Mickish here on Mix 93. 1-0 Huskies after one period of play. Our first intermission being brought to you by the Hidden Pines Wedding Barn in Calumet, the most rustic outdoor wedding barn in the area. Call Joel at 337-4650 to reserve, or go to hiddenpinesbarn.com. We'll be back with more of our first intermission after this. 1-0 Michigan Tech at the Desert Hockey Classic.